Good morning, brilliant scholars. Welcome to Corona Day 43. So let's see what we have going on for today. In the lower middle, New Zealand is being praised for being one of the first major countries to all but eliminate the coronavirus. Many people are looking at how did they do that, and the answer seems to be relatively simple. They identified coronavirus as a problem very early, as much as I think like when they had one case, they shut everything down. Shutting everything down, tracking, having more testing than anybody else had comparatively, has led them to uh, no more new cases. So that's a huge deal for New Zealand and potentially a roadmap for how to stop, at least one way for how to stop the coronavirus outbreak. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, there are more things that are starting to open. We talked about golf courses reopening, and those are now open. Any businesses that can offer some type of curbside pickup will be opening up. Car washes, didn't know car washes were closed, but that's one of the things about our lockdown. Sometimes you don't even know some of the businesses that are closed and they're being affected by what's going on. Back open, as well as a bunch of other things. So at the pitcher's mound there, you can see a mom and a kid there. There are reports that doctors are reporting a spike in intensive care visits for children, and they're not sure why. They think it could relate to the coronavirus, but as of right now, they don't necessarily have the evidence to prove that. Meanwhile, the president is advocating for some schools to reopen before the end of the school year. I can tell you that would be a great help if it was something that we could do, but of course, would have to be something that we could do without spreading the virus. Who knows? There may be some areas in the country where there are so little cases that that is a possibility. All right, in the world of Microsoft, they have decided that they are now going to give you an error message if you use a double space after a sentence. That is probably not going to affect you, but more likely your parents or myself who grew up learning how to type on a word processor or a typewriter. If you did learn to type in those places, then you would have had to have done a double space. Otherwise, your typing would have made any sense. So that has been ingrained over and over and over again. So the old folks like me won't be happy with that change. That change is kind of similar to how when you guys will turn in assignments for me, and for some reason your sentences don't have capital letters, and I'm confused. Why in the world would you not do that? I would never think not to capitalize the letters when I start a sentence. But you've grown up typing on your phone, and your phone automatically does it for you. It's an automatic autocorrect, so in your mind, it doesn't make sense to necessarily hit a space bar or a shift key because you're not used to doing that in general. So those two things, I guess, could be comparable. We'll see if it actually makes a difference. You can just shut it off so old people like me won't be annoyed. All right, let's talk about what you have to do today. U.S. history, you guys are going to be working on the I Have a Dream speech. As I said yesterday in your video, one of the most famous speeches of all time. Please, 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 please take your time and listen to it fully. This is probably the only time in your life that you actually are going to sit down and listen to the world's one of the world's most famous speeches. So you have the time in your schedule today. Please do it. Obviously, if we're in the classroom, I can be there. I can actually ask you questions about it, but I can't. So it's on you to make sure as you move out of history class, you at least have an idea of what this is all about. Global relations class, same thing with you guys. You're on research. Most of you guys, this shouldn't be a problem, but there's a small handful of people that struggle with motivation. You guys need to know that these days aren't free days. These are days where you have to be getting your work done. You have plenty of time to do that, but you actually have to buckle down and actually get it done. So I am going to collect, I think, from you guys on Thursday, your key points for your research topic. So make sure you've got whatever those key points are and ready to go. Now, you should be way beyond that, but I have to have that check off in to make sure all of you guys are doing that. Remember, every time you miss a check off like that, that's a grade in the book. We didn't have as many checkoffs like that when we were in class because I was there to be able to look at some of the things that you were doing. Now that I'm not, this is what I've got to do. So please, please, please use the time that you have allotted for this to take care of your job. All right, that's all I got for today. Have a good Tuesday. We'll check back in with you guys on Thursday.